Howdy, howdy. Thank you so much for joining us today. We got the big Christmas remote at the Downtown Monroe Christmas Parade tonight. So hopefully you get to come check us out, meet us in person. Charlie Morgan, Chastity Stewart, myself will be there broadcasting from in front of the Monroe Museum.
So exciting.
Yeah, we got the small equipment, though. Les kind of gave us the small hookup, right? So we're going to be like light and mobile, but we're going to be there broadcasting live. I think Les will be in the studio on the boards, and we'll be out in the cold. Now, I was thinking about this, Chastity. Les is the smart guy in this whole deal because Les does the remotes when it's 70 degrees and sunny,
beautiful,
and there's hot dogs being cooked.
Yeah, food.
And then tonight when it's going to be drizzly and 35 degrees, Les sends us outdoors, and he's going to be in the cozy studios.
And here with the hot chocolate, too.
Oh, he's got the hot chocolate, too?
Yes.
Oh, man, he's a smart dude. He's a smart dude. But we're going to have fun. We're going to be out there from 5:30 to 7, broadcasting about every 15 minutes, giving an update on the ever-so-important floats that'll be cruising down Broad Street. I'm looking forward to this, Chassis.
77 floats.
77 floats. What's the weather forecast? What are we looking at?
Well, right now, we're looking at some showers. Mainly after midnight.
All right, so nothing's going to affect us. Yeah, we're in good shape.
We've got our fingers crossed.
Just cold. I'm not dressed in festive because I'm just going to be dressing warm, so I'm going to be looking like a regular dude. But I think I get the impression you're going festive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. You and Charlie will look the part.
Christmas cheer.
I just got to be sure I stay warm. It's going to be freezing out there. Abbreviated show today, folks. We're going to be wrapping up after one in preparation for the remote tonight. So again, come check us out. We'd love to see you. Meet you in person if we've never met you before from 5:30 to 7 in front of the Monroe Museum on Broad Street in downtown Monroe for the legendary Christmas parade. Later this hour, we got Jeff Hood calling in, our very own Jeff Hood, with a political update. Kathy White, this young lady, is hosting a huge estate sale. She's going to be joining us and telling us about what she's got going on, when, where, and what's going to be for sale. And then later on, the mayor of Bogart, Janet Jones, that is going to be a hoot. She is a wonderful lady, and I can't wait to speak with her. Something important I want to talk about. Got a couple little things queued up to open the show with. And this first one is something that is really important to me as it relates to the military. We have been covering over the past couple of months President Trump's initiative to eliminate the narco-terrorists from trafficking the deadly drugs like fentanyl into our country. So President Trump is taking the approach of let's go to the source, let's eliminate the source. Meanwhile, here at home, we need to be educating and helping people that have addiction problems, right? So kind of a two-pronged approach. You take care of the systemic issue by eliminating the source, and then you address the issue here at home and get people help and get them off these awful drugs. So he begins this campaign a couple of months ago, and they have, I think, year-to-date attacked about, how many vessels is it? 20 kinetic strikes in the Caribbean and Pacific with about 80 people killed. Now, when I say people, these are now combatants. These are enemies of the state. These are drug traffickers who, by virtue of their efforts, are killing thousands of Americans every month. Right? Thousands. By their god-awful efforts of bringing in fentanyl and other deadly drugs into our country. So President Trump made this very clear when he campaigned. He's made it very clear as president, and he's executing his vision now. He's put Pete Hegseth in charge of this, and he is carrying out the vision that President Trump has. And Pete Hegseth's admirals and enlisted military are performing just brilliantly. They're getting it done. But unfortunately, for some of those in Congress, including some on the Republican side, that's not good enough because in war, things don't always go perfectly. And there happened to be a situation, I guess, a couple of months ago where they attacked a drug boat and realized they didn't finish the job, so they went back and they finished the job, which is what you got to do. And now they're saying, oh, hey, you may have committed a war crime. And I was waiting for this to happen. It doesn't, I don't care what allegiance you have and what political party you're with or who you are, but I was waiting for this to happen for some backseat driver to say, oh, you did it wrong. You messed up. Nothing is perfect. This is war, Chastity.
It absolutely
This is ugly, right?
And the families that are affected, I mean, that's war every day for them. So we should be definitely doing our part and keeping America safe.
Well, think about this for a second. we have not killed any civilians. I'm not calling these combatant civilians. These are not civilians. These are people that have enlisted into the role of trafficking deadly drugs into our country and possibly other countries.
Yep.
These are not civilians. These are cretins, okay? So they are, and they know good and well they're being targeted.
Yep.
When the first boat went down, everybody knew in that drug business, hey, dude, better think twice
Right.
before you load up the boat with cocaine or fentanyl and do your thing.
Absolutely.
So the message was sent. It was crystal clear. President Trump has been very vocal about this. So there's no surprise. But here's something that I thought was interesting is that during Obama's administration, the 8 years he was president, he executed 563 strikes, most of which by drone, targeting terrorist organizations within Pakistan, Somalia, Yemen, and beyond. 57 strikes under Bush, but 563 under Obama, and they are estimating those strikes led to more than 500 civilian deaths in addition to the terrorists they were targeting.
Yep.
Now, go back to what we just did here. 20 strikes, 80 enemy combatants. This is precision. We're not killing innocent people.
Sure.
This is with precision. They're targeting enemy combatants, and they're upset about this one scenario where they bombed a boat. There may have been a couple of survivors, may not have been. I don't know the details, but the boat wasn't done. They went back and they finished the job. And I guess the argument is, oh, hey, there was a couple people in the water that were survivors. There's no rescue boat. This is a drone strike. This is a drone. It's not like there's a rescue boat sitting 50 yards off in the distance waiting to scoop them up. And if there was, let's walk through this scenario. So let's say you did a drone strike. The boat blows up. Most everybody dies. A couple people fall in the water. Do you want your son or daughter who's enlisted in the military going and approaching that person that may have a sidearm, may have a bomb, may have something that they're going to... Do you think they're going to be happily waiting to see our
Right.
United States military coming up to greet them and reach a hand in the water to help them out?
Good point.
This is war.
Yep.
And I asked the senator from Kentucky to focus on your own state and the thousands of people that are dying every day in your state because of fentanyl, because of the drugs that these narco-terrorists are bringing into the country.
Just havoc.
Don't sit in the weeds and wait to point the finger at our own military,
Yes.
at President Trump, at Pete Hegseth, and at our incredible, just fantastic enlisted military that gets the job done day in and day out. For a pittance in pay, they put their lives on the line. And we appreciate what they're doing to keep our country safe.
Absolutely.
All right, you want to talk about something bananas? Check this out. Over in Great Britain, there's a dude, he's a British IT consultant named John Richelieu Booth. I think I'm saying his name right. I probably just butchered his name. That's okay.
Sounded good.
Well, so he goes to Florida to visit a buddy. And when he's in Florida, he takes some pictures with some guns. I'm assuming ARs, some shotguns. He's probably having a great time shooting on his buddy's property. And he takes some pictures and he posts it to social media, just like we do. You go on a trip, right? You go to the beach, you post a
Sure.
picture of you
Absolutely.
swimming in the beach or whatever you're doing. So he comes to America and he's like, I'm going to take some pictures with some guns. He goes back home and he gets the UK police are waiting for him. They visit his home after a complaint and then they arrest him. And they charge him with firearm-related and public order offenses. Now, I don't know about the public order offenses, but the firearm-related stuff just is nuts. Now, maybe they're saying, oh, they thought that he had the firearms there in Great Britain. But this is just indicative of what's taking place in England. It scares me to say this, but I think England is lost.
Mm-hmm. I think they're trying to make an example out of him.
Well, the free speech over there is just,
Yes.
it is completely censored now. Everything is done. I mean,
Yep.
you've had scenarios where people will get on public venues outside of the country and they'll say things like I'm saying now,
Yep.
and they will get arrested when they return to England.
That is a shame.
Yeah, that's frightening. So the charges were ultimately dropped by the Crown Prosecution Service, and the dude described it as a 13-week nightmare. Ooh, this raises concerns about free speech and social media in the UK. Be careful what you post over there, or they will come a knocking at your door. Okay, You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. Chassie, this is another story. This one is bizarre. Do we have time for this? We do. We got a quick one more minute. This is just nuts. Church gone wild. You have a church up in, I don't know, this one is Lake Street Church of Evanston. Where is that? Where's Evanston? We'll have to look that up. Somewhere in the United States. Somewhere outside of Georgia. Didn't take place here. And the church did a nativity scene. And the nativity scene depicted baby Jesus, Mary wearing a gas mask, baby Jesus wrapped up in an emergency blanket. And this was all kind of a message being sent about the anti-ICE efforts, right? Using a nativity scene to protest the the deportation of criminal illegal aliens. Right. And I started thinking about this. This is not the first time that we've seen churches do woke stuff. I remember when I would travel up to Maryland, it was very normal to see a church with a Black Lives Matter or a gay flag or a myriad of slogans from the radical left hanging from their building, promoting far left ideology at a church, right? So the other story that kind of caught my eye was in North Chile, Rochester, New York, the North Chile United Methodist Church. Their pastor, I guess one of their pastors, Reverend Philip Fanouf, came out and said he's transitioning to be a woman. He can't fake it anymore. He's a dude, but he's really a girl. And he gave a speech to his congregation, and they responded with cheers and encouragement. Now, this is, if you remember, a few years ago, the United Methodist Church was no longer united, right? They split. Now, the Monroe First Methodists, they did the right thing. They did not follow this crazy leftist ideology. They decided to stay mainstream and stick to biblical values. But you had a faction of the left of the Methodist Church go out and say, hey, we're advocates for gay marriage. We're advocates for transgenderism. We're advocates for all the radical left ideology. And so this guy now is, what is his name? What is his new name? Philippa. So Philip went to Philippa and will remain as a minister of the North Chile United Methodist Church. I couldn't go to that on Sunday morning.
Not at all. Tommy
Fountain would be turning and, livid if he knew about this.
I mean, it's just a shame. It's dark.
That's a great way to describe it, Chastity, is dark. Mm-hmm. It's dark. Can you imagine going to a Sunday morning church service and you have a transgender person up there giving the sermon? The credibility is in the tank, and everything the Bible stands for of basic moral focus and basic moral compass is just being destroyed by radical left policies. But like I said, I don't have to worry about that.
We'll pray for them.
We will. But I don't have to worry about it at Monroe First Methodist or 1025.
No, not here.
Not here. Not here. Listen to the Marc McMain Show. When we come back, our very own Jeff Hood.
One of the fun parts of Christmas is the dazzling light displays. Some are tasteful and elegant. Others are a little over the top. Whether gaudy or gorgeous, it's hard to imagine Christmas without lights. Yet very few realize why light is so important at Christmas. Man is naturally drawn to spiritual darkness. The Bible says light has come into the world, but people love darkness instead of the light. Here's the hard truth. The light of Jesus exposes the sin in my heart and yours. Fearing that exposure, we reject him and choose to remain in the dark. Bad mistake. His light keeps us from stumbling through the darkness. Christmas is the annual birthday celebration of Jesus, the light of the world, who came to dispel the darkness. Christmas lights are a reminder of Jesus, who overcame the spiritual darkness of this world. This is Bryant Wright, wishing you a Merry Christmas, speaking right from my heart.
For devotions, visit rightfromtheheart.org.
Don't wait to transform your home with Moncrief Flooring and Remodeling. Be ready to entertain for the holidays. From stylish floors to full kitchen and bathroom makeovers, it's quality craftsmanship on your new hardwood plank, tile, carpet, or laminate flooring. Give them a call at 770-589-9546 to schedule an appointment. Let's build something beautiful together. Located at 4915 Highway 138 in Loganville. Moncrief Flooring and Remodeling, where dream homes begin.
I'm Dutch Guest, Republican for State House, and I approve this message.
I'm Houston Gaines.
And this is Marcus Wiedauer.
We've got a few things in common.
Like we both graduated from UGA.
Go Dogs, and we both represented parts of Clark and Oconee in the State House.
And we both passed some strong conservative legislation.
Mine were definitely more conservative.
Debatable. But one thing that isn't up for debate, we both beat radical Democrats to keep these districts red.
And now it's Dutch's turn.
He's the only Republican in this special election, and he needs our help.
I'm Houston Gaines, and I'm supporting Dutch Guest for State House.
Supporting? That's nice, Houston. I'm Marcus Wiedauer, and I endorse Dutch Guest for State House.
Why do you always try to one-up me?
Well, I'm not the one running for Congress.
Thanks, fellas. I'm Dutch Guest, Republican candidate for State House District 121. It's no secret the radical left is coming after this seat. Let's show them they messed with the wrong district. Early voting is underway, and Election Day is December 9th. Vote Republican, vote Dutch Guest. Paid for by Elect Dutch Guest Inc.
Do you have unwanted or scrap gold and silver jewelry just lying around? What about sterling flatware or gold and silver coins and bars? Madison Coin and Bullion will pay top dollar for any precious metals you own. Madison Coin and Bullion also offers a large selection of gold and silver coins and bullion available to purchase at competitive prices. And if you're looking to purchase jewelry at a considerably lower price, look no further than Madison Coin and Bullion. Madison Coin and Bullion, located at 2492 Eatonton Road in Madison, open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Welcome back, Marc McMain. Chastity, I'm digging the bumper music. We get to play this all month long for December?
Yes.
Man, that's killer.
I love it.
Puts me in the mood, puts me in the Christmas mood. Jeff Hood is on the line with us. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you folks?
I'm great. I don't know if you heard what I was talking about prior to you calling in. Were you listening to my little rant about the Reverend up at North Chile United Methodist Church? Did you know about this story, Jeff?
I saw it, but it's very unfortunate.
Could you attend a church service where the pastor is a transgender? I don't care which way they flip you, dude, but could you go to church?
Absolutely not.
So, Jeff, I got a question for you. And I know you're a good red-blooded conservative American, but if you had to transgender, Jeff, what would your name be? If you had, if your life depended on it, they're like somebody, put a gun to your head and said you got to flip. What's your transgender name going to be, Jeff?
I would have to think about that, but I that's okay.
Well, this one is Philippa. He went from Philip to Philippa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Well, ironically. Because I always like to somehow tie politics back to it. I think I shared this story with you, Mark, but a couple of years ago in the General Assembly at the state capitol in Atlanta, they always have a pastor of the day. And a couple of years ago, they introduced this pastor from a church in Atlanta, and was introduced first name of Michelle, but it turns out it was really Michael, if you see where I'm going.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Very creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah.
So,
and and what my take is on this, if this dude up here in North Chile United Methodist Church, if he, if that's what he wants to do, I don't care. Do what you want to do. If you want to flip and become something else, I don't care. That's between you and God. But you should no longer be part of the leadership at church. You can still go to church. Matter of fact, you probably need to go more often and get your mind right. But you should no longer be part of the leadership. Is my argument on that. But nonetheless, it just day after day we get the hits just keep on coming. Jeff, tell us what you've got. I know you've got some. You've been texting me some pretty interesting things. Give us some update on the political scene in Georgia.
Yeah. Hey, and I will. But let me quickly insert. You folks are going to be at the Monroe Christmas Parade later today. If you live over here close to me in Oconee County, the Watkinsville Christmas Parade is this coming Sunday at 4 p.m. So,
oh, wow. Okay.
It's a long-standing tradition, so, yeah, check that out.
How many floats do they have, Jeff?
Oh, they'll have probably 100 or so.
Oh, you mean Watkinsville outdid Monroe? We're going to have a conversation with the mayor.
Well, it's yet to be seen if we have 100. But
Get John Howard on the line. We do not get outdone by Watkinsville. I'm coming over there with video. I want evidence of this 100-plus float parade that you're bragging about.
We'll have to call Mayor Brian Broderick and see if they have a tally on how many floats are going to be there. But
Mayor Broderick's always got to one-up us, doesn't he?
We need to get him on the line.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun. So that's in downtown Watkinsville Sunday at 4 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir. So, a few weeks ago, the Democrats flipped 2 Public Service Commission seats, and mainly because people didn't go vote. At least the Republicans didn't. Well, it flew a little under the radar, but there was some elections around the state of Georgia on Tuesday of this week, and one of them was a mayoral race in Roswell, where a gentleman that's been the incumbent mayor for quite a while, and actually a friend of mine, because he owns or used to own a lot of Zaxby's restaurants, a good Republican member or mayor of Roswell, he got defeated, Mark and Chastity, by a Democrat. And so once again, we're seeing, piece by piece where the Democratic Party is going to have more to brag about as we go into the midterms in 2026.
That's interesting. Was that a mayor's race that was actually partisan? Did they have to identify their party politics, or was it nonpartisan? Do you know?
I think it was nonpartisan. However, the two that were running against each other made it very clear
where they stood.
Absolutely.
And I did not follow that race. So the Democrat that won, was he like a Mamdani wannabe? Was he advocating for that type of stuff, or was he trying to stay a little more neutral?
Well, it was actually a lady, and she's very liberal, but not quite as zany or off her rocker like the guy in New York.
Right.
But yeah, liberal Democrat. Is now going to run the show in Roswell. Yeah.
Wow.
So very unfortunate. And that reminds me, I heard the commercial just before you came to me, Dutch Guest. He is running to replace Marcus Wiedauer.
Yeah, he was on our show yesterday. Yep.
That's right. And it was a great interview. I didn't know that he played football for Kirby.
I didn't either.
Man.
He looks the part, though. He looks like looks like he could, like I said, sack a quarterback. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he is. Well, so if you live in Oconee County, parts of Oconee County, and a part of Clark, and you live in the 121st District, advanced voting is underway this week through Friday, and then Election Day will be Tuesday of next week, December 9th. And you'll choose either the Republican Dutch Guest or the Democrat Eric Gisler. And I'm supporting Dutch Guest, even though I don't live in the district. I'm in Houston Gaines' district. But please get out and vote, and let's don't let the Democrats take away yet another seat politically in our state.
You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. My guest is Jeff Hood, giving us a little political update. Jeff, are you getting any vibes as to there was a little bit of apathy over, like you said, a month ago for the PSC race. Is there a renewed energy in the early voting? Are you seeing anything that's positive?
Yeah, we are here in Oconee County. I think it was a wake-up call because the data I'm seeing is heavy voter turnout in advanced voting in Oconee County and very light in what is really more of a liberal county over in Clark. In fact, last I saw, 86% of all the votes cast so far in that election had come out of Oconee County, which I think is going to bode well for Dutch. And hopefully that will carry over as we get into or closer to the primaries in May. Although that was disappointing that that Roswell race for mayor swung on the Democratic side, even though it was nonpartisan, but both parties, the candidates made it very clear which parties they're members of. So it's going to be interesting. The General Assembly will start January 12th. Qualifying for anybody running for statewide races will be in March, and then the primary in May is going to be on top of us. And boy, next year, It's not a presidential year, but it feels like it.
Well, it's going to be a very busy political season. At what point will they set the date for the primary in May, Jeff? Typically, when does that get announced?
I was told that it's going to be May 19th, and I don't know if that's in stone, but that's what I've heard, May the 19th.
Yep, I figure if anybody knew, it'd be you. You've got the inside track on a lot of that information.
That's what I'm hearing. Now, I'm curious to see when the legislative calendar is going to be released for the General Assembly, and it may be out there. I just haven't seen it, but I know that they will go into session under the Gold Dome in Atlanta on Monday, January the 12th.
And Jeff, something that you did a really good job for us even before our show started, was making people aware of some of the things being discussed during the General Assembly, during when they're in session. And I'm hoping you have time to do that again for us, because some of those events the general public can go and attend, and they can listen. Yeah. And in some cases, they can even get up, have the mic and have their voices heard. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. I think on all those sessions, those committee meetings, at the Capitol, and some of them are across the street at the Coverdale building, but you can go to any one of them, and it's posted, the agenda, who's participating, which members of the Senate or the House are on those committees, who the guest speakers are, and then typically, Mark, when they're winding down, they will ask, the chair of that committee will say, is there anyone in attendance that would like to get up and speak? So they try to always afford that opportunity for any citizen that wants to come in and speak their mind. And if you're not able to go or attend those in person, you can stream them as well. And Mark, I think you and I were together. I went up there several times last year, but there was that who would have thunk it, the speed zone cameras.
Yep, I remember that.
Zones, and my gosh, they didn't really come to any kind of resolution at the end of the session, and that was kind of rolling over into the 2026 session coming up. And of course, my issue with that particular item is that there is no way you should go through a school zone like on a Sunday, and it's normally a 55-mile-an-hour zone, but it's 35 when school's in session, and the camera snaps your picture, and you get a speeding ticket in the mail because you were doing, say, 56 and what they would say a 35, even though the school was closed.
That's right.
So they've got to figure that out.
Well, and what it represents, Jeff, is that these are very important laws being discussed or being contemplated, and it's an opportunity for you as a citizen to go and have your voice heard, and you could see who's on the committee, and you could actually reach out to those people, and especially if it's one of your representatives that's part of the committee or part of the decision-making process, you can make your voice heard. It's not convenient. I get it. You got to drive down to Atlanta.
Right.
But it is worth it to go. I would encourage every listener, at least at some point in the next session, to go down and just spend one day.
Yeah.
And like you said, Jeff, pick the day. So when will you be able to maybe share with our listeners when the topics will be announced? So what committees are being discussed, what laws are being contemplated?
Pretty soon, because when they put the calendar out, it's going to tell you the days that there are some work days where they just have committee meetings, and then there's a lot of days where they'll have committee meetings in the morning, and then later in the day they'll go onto the House or Senate floor, and they'll always give you advance notice of which committees are meeting, and they'll put the agenda out there. It's just a matter of you getting engaged and either going to the Capitol or being sure to stream, and it's free. And then you can listen, and then you can communicate with your lawmakers afterwards if you're not able to attend in session and give your thoughts. And I thought it was great yesterday when you had Dutch Guest on, and he talked about his interest for transportation and education. And I'm hoping he gets on committees related to those two topics because I think he can really bring a lot to the game, especially on the transportation side.
That makes the most sense. You put experts in their field into the right area, and that's how we get really good legislation, people that know the inner workings of the bills that are being discussed. Marc McMain, our guest, is Jeff Hood. Jeff, so high school football is over, came to a screeching halt this last Friday, so we got to find another job for you, and I think it is going to be political correspondent to the Gold Dome, relaying data back to us in real time. I think that's Is that something we can count on you for a little bit?
Absolutely. I'll be a frequent guest when we get things cranked up at the Gold Dome in January, and update the listeners on the goings and the happenings. And I can't wait. There's a lot of preparation going on, probably some jockeying kind of behind the scenes, and it should be an interesting session. And there's going to be a lot of turnover at the Capitol after that session. Even I mentioned Houston Gaines; he's running for Congress, and all the guys in the state Senate that are going to be running for lieutenant governor, it goes on and on. So it's going to be what we see kind of for the final time in 26. It's going to, the cast of characters up there in 27, it's going to be a lot different.
A lot of new faces, that's right. Yeah. It's going to be a busy political season. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today, buddy. And again, go to that. I'm going to go to my Christmas Parade in Monroe tonight.
Okay.
I want you to go to yours Sunday in Watkinsville. Okay. There's probably some other parades going on, too, that if anybody wants to make us aware of them, email it to us at info@wmoqfm.com, and we'll announce it, because I know there's got to be some more parades taking place. We cover so many towns, but you and I will compare notes and see whose parade was better.
Okay.
And bigger is better.
There you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Yep, Mark McMain Show. When we come back, Miss Kathy Wyatt, she's got a massive estate sale coming up. She's going to tell us all about the goodies that you can find there. We'll be right back.
Here's Evan Youngblood for Youngblood Tractor in Madison.
Did you know Youngblood Tractor is much more than just tractors? Sure, we have the biggest selection of Massey Ferguson tractors around and all the attachments you could ever need. But did you know we also carry the Kawasaki side-by-side lineup, like the legendary Kawasaki Mule, Terex, and Ridge? That's Kawasaki's new cab model with heat and AC. Youngblood Tractor also carries the complete Spartan zero-turn mower lineup, from residential to commercial zero-turn mowers. Combine that with our massive trailer inventory of equipment, dump, enclosed, and utility trailers, you can always build a winning combination at Youngblood Tractor right here in Madison. We also feature a full parts and service department to help maintain your equipment for years to come. Whether you're a full-time farmer, hunter, or property owner looking to maintain your land, Youngblood Tractor is here to make your next outdoor project a success. Call us today at 706-342-2242 or stop by and see us at 1600 Athens Highway in Madison, or shop us 24 hours a day at youngbloodtractor.com.
Franklin's Gun Shop in Athens has everything you need for hunting and fishing. They have great prices on their guns, ammo, scopes, bows, gun safes, knives, blinds, tree stands, and rod and reels, clothing, and more. I do all of my shopping at Franklin's, and they're open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 9 to 9 and Sunday noon to 6. At Franklin's, you'll get great customer service from people who know what they're talking about. Family owned since 1961, located at 3941 Atlanta Highway in Athens.
If you're in the construction business, you're going to need a dumpster at some point in time, and that's why you need to call Atha Equipment Rental in Monroe, now offering 20 and 30-yard cans. Atha Equipment Rental now offers a complete line of landscape and construction equipment like tools, trenchers, floor sanders, jackhammers, and so much more, like rentals for your parties with tables, chairs, popcorn machines, Dunkin' booths, and more. Call Jason Atha at 770-207-6041. That's Atha Equipment Rental on East Spring Street in Monroe.
This is Pastor Stephen Butler from Bible Baptist Church in Monroe, inviting you to join us for Walton County's most exciting Christmas presentation. The Bible Baptist Choir, Children's Ministry, and Drama Cast will present Noel, the First Songs of Christmas, on Saturday, December 13th at 7 p.m. and again on Sunday, December 14th at 3 p.m. World-class guest vocalists Nick Holland and Melina Herring will come together with our own musicians and singers to create this one-of-a-kind Christmas program. There's nothing like the music of Christmas to get you in the holiday spirit, and you won't find anything like this anywhere else. There's no cost to attend, just come and be our guest. For more information, visit Bible Baptist Church of Monroe on Facebook, find us on Instagram, or visit BibleBapt.org, and make plans to join us at Bible Baptist Church of Monroe December 14th and 15th. Merry Christmas!
Make holiday memories this year. Gather your family and friends and go to Berry's Tree Farm in Covington. There's nothing like choosing and cutting down your own tree for Christmas. Berry's Tree Farm has Leland cypress, Carolina sapphire, Virginia pine, cedar, and fresh cut Fraser fir. For the kids, they have train rides and snow flocking is available. Call 770-786-5833. Located off I-20 exit 88 in Covington. Don't forget to visit Santa's Workshop for your fresh wreaths, garland, and tree stands. 770-786-5833 or go to www.berrystreefarm.com.
Big news, Georgia drivers. DJ's Collision is on the move and is proud to announce their brand new home in Madison. After many years of service in Social Circle, the same team you know and trust is back with a fresh new look and location to serve you best. From flawless paint jobs to complete bodywork, DJ's Collision is where your car gets a second chance to shine. Check out their brand new location in Madison at 1231 Woodcraft Road. That's DJ's Collision. Give them a call at 770-760-8214.
And welcome back to the Marc McMain Show. Come see us tonight. Charlie Morgan, Chastity Stewart, and myself will be in front of the Monroe Museum, 5:30 to 7, doing a remote as we cover the historic Monroe Christmas Parade. It's going to be a lot of fun. Right now, we've got a young lady on the phone with us, Kathy Wyatt, who's got a big estate sale coming up. Miss Kathy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about this big deal that you've got going on. Where is it? When is it? And what can people find there?
Okay, so this is the Broughton sale and estate sale. We do it twice a year, and people can find antiques, architectural, just anything and everything for anybody. Glassware. Good food, live music.
Yes, you got food vendors too. Okay, so
yes, and they're actually smoked ribs and barbecue and hot dogs for the kids if they don't want that, and then we have live music going on as well as we speak. And that's going to be for the next 3 days, and it's going to go on whether it's rain or shine.
Rain or shine. And tell us where this is located. How do people find this, Kathy?
We are located on 4127 Broughton Road in Newborn, Georgia.
4127 Broughton Road. And tell us, how long has this been going on? Because I'm not familiar with this. This is kind of news to me, and I guess maybe you have some family ties to Julio. Is that right?
That is correct, sir. Julio was actually a cousin of my husband's.
Wow.
And he did a couple of live views out here like what you're going to do in Monroe tonight.
Yeah.
And I miss Julio a lot. We all do.
Legend. Yes, absolutely.
And but we do this show twice a year, and we have several vendors here other than just us. And
I noticed on one of the promos you mentioned that there's coins, that there's different decorations, that there's artisan crafts, things like that. So if somebody comes out there, is this a place that they could actually maybe do some Christmas shopping at for their loved ones?
Yes, sir, it is. A lot of Christmas blow molds that are out here, vintage Christmas, which is hard to find. There's several vintage, and we also have dealers who have great deals on beautiful furniture that would go good in a home that's been redone.
Wow, okay.
Yes, sir. So the old pails. We even have an old bumper car out here that a gentleman has, and even statue cows, and there's something for everyone here.
Well, what I love about these estate sales is you can go, and no two estate sales are the same. And
no, sir.
You can go and you can find some of the most, unique items. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you a quick little story. We were doing a garage sale years ago in a neighborhood I used to live in, and my neighbor was selling these two little lamps for like $2 each, right? And you wouldn't think, little glass lamps, nothing fancy. So this lady comes up and she buys the lamps, gives him the $2 or the $4 or whatever it was. And after the transaction is complete, she goes on to explain to my neighbor that the lamps were built from an ashtray turned upside down during World War II, that it was, there wasn't a lot of brass and metal to go around, and that these lamps had historic meaning and value and were worth like $200 each. Wow. So she kind of rubbed the dirt in his face a little bit. I just gave you $2 and these are worth like a couple $100. So, but things like that you can find at these estate sales, Kathy, some real unique, one-of-a-kind antiques.
Yes, sir. You're correct on that. And we do have silver coins here, and we have a gentleman who has silver coins and the old porcelain signs that used to go on grocery stores. And
those are popular.
And you're right. There's always a gem hidden somewhere in every estate sale.
And how big is this, Kathy? Like, how is this over? Is it in a warehouse? Is it outdoors? Or tell us what the environment is like.
It is outdoors, but we have actually 13 buildings full of antiques, and we also have vendors who are sitting outside.
So this is a big deal. Big deal.
It is, yes, sir.
That's an all-day adventure.
Have you ever been to this, Chastity?
It is.
No, I haven't, but it's on my list. I love antiques. And I love estate sales.
Well, especially one like this that only comes around, what is it, Kathy, twice a year is how often you all do this?
Yes, only twice a year. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so think about that, Chastity. The items, a lot of these items get put back away, so they're not picked over. And that's where you find these little one-of-a-kind gems. Yep.
Well, and the one thing I like to share about Broughton that everybody should know is Greg White is the owner, and he actually tries to save prehistoric buildings versus a commercial company bulldozing it down
and building something new.
He'll buy the building and he'll have it moved, and he tries to restore it because history, you can't rebuild those things, and certain things can't be redone.
That's
and
right.
There's certain nostalgia that's here that no matter what age, young or old, that people can relate with.
That's right. Yep. And that to me, we talk about it quite often on the show. The charm of this area are the small towns, the old towns, and whether it's the architecture and the history that goes with it. It's I love the idea that he's making an effort to preserve that. Just fantastic. And then an event like this, people can come and they can buy a little piece of history too. Find an antique, find that little special
You're
something.
correct.
Yeah.
And we actually have a scavenger hunt going on for kids, or even adults, actually. And it's a little monkey that he hides somewhere on the property, and he actually gives a $1,000 reward.
Wow!
It's found.
Wow. No way. Okay, so let's get this right. So you come out as just a regular visitor to the estate sale. Do you have to sign up to be a part?
No, sir. No, sir. You do not.
So you come out there and you find this monkey, and it's $1,000 reward.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And there was a 12-year-old who found it last year.
Wow.
No way. Okay.
Well, good for them.
$1,000. Hey, folks, that's worth getting in your car and driving to.
We're on our way.
Kathy, one more time. Tell us the location and the days and the hours so people know how to come find you.
So the location is Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. The address is 4127 Broughton Road in Newborn, Georgia. And this is rain or shine. We will be here.
Bring your umbrella, folks. Bring a nice warm jacket. Bring a hoodie. And get out there. Bring your cash, because I'm assuming this is cash only.
No, sir. There are several of the vendors who actually take Venmo, Cash App, have credit cards. So there's more than just it's more than just cash.
But bring cash just in case. Just in case.
Yes, sir.
Something. All right.
So I wanted to, if I could share this.
Yeah.
The value of the monkey today is $250. And the monkey, if it's found Friday, it's $500.
Oh, so it escalates in value.
Yep, and by Saturday, it's $1,000.
I love this. Wow. That's great. That is fantastic.
So it gives the kids, it allows the parents to shop, but it also gives the kids something to do while they're here.
Gives you a
and
reason.
We do have police on site to where everybody is safe.
It gives you a reason to go back every day.
Yes, sir.
That monkey's appreciating faster than the rate of inflation. I love it. Oh, that's great. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you guys the best of luck with your estate sale.
Yes, sir, and thank you very much, and y'all have a great day.
Absolutely. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. When we come back, the mayor of Bogart, Miss Janet Jones.
Anytime is a great time to make memories at the Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary in Lilburn. Close to home and fun for the entire family. Not only will you see wildlife up close, like bears, otters, bison, and more, you can enjoy a picnic lunch. There's gem mining and so much more. The Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary, 4525 Highway 78 in Lilburn. Make plans to visit soon. To learn more, go to yellowriverwildlifesanctuary.com.
When it comes to protecting your family, keeping kids fed, neighborhoods safe, and opportunities growing, Democrats like Eric Gisler are getting it wrong. At a time when costs are up, Democrats in all levels of government have blocked property and income tax relief for families reaching deeper into your paycheck. Georgia families deserve help, not politicians taking more from hardworking people. And on public safety, while gangs, drugs, and violent offenders threaten our neighborhoods, Democrats' soft-on-crime agenda risks the safety of our homes, our streets, and our kids. Georgia deserves leaders who put your safety and your financial security first. This election, it's up to you to protect your family and your future. Early voting is happening now. Vote Republican Dutch Guest on Tuesday, December 9th. Paid for by A Strong Georgia, Inc.
Leadfoot Mulching and Grading offers land clearing, hauling of gravel and sand, and more. And now offering screen topsoil for the farmer or homeowner, asphalt paving, and more. No job is too big or small. Locally owned and operated, it's Leadfoot Mulching and Grading, serving all of North Georgia. Fair prices and great customer service. Phone 404-909-5227 or go to leadfootmulching.com.
Hey, this is Doug.
And this is Robbie.
We own and operate Foy Tree Service.
When you need tree cutting, stump grinding, lot clearing, mulching, firewood, and more, call Foy Tree Service.
Serving Morgan County and surrounding area since 1987.
With top quality service and fair prices, we take pride in our work, and we do everything to make sure that you are a happy customer.
That's Foy Tree Service. Call us at 706-342-8733.
That's 706-342-TREE.
Serving Loganville and the surrounding area for over 25 years, it's the Main Street Barbershop, 305 Main Street next to Braxton's Auction in downtown Loganville, offering old-fashioned service and modern-day styles. Appointments available and walk-ins welcome. Open Tuesday through Saturday with a friendly staff and atmosphere. That's Main Street Barbershop in downtown Loganville. Call 770-554-3300 or go to mainstreetbarberloganville.com to learn more.
From touchdown celebrations to new home celebrations, I'm Realtor Josh Parker, and I'm here to help you score big in the real estate game. Enjoy the game and make sure you've got your home team ready for the next big play. Contact me directly at 770-601-9599 or online at RealtorJoshParker.com. Be sure to like and follow me on Facebook as well at Realtor Josh Parker for updates on the real estate market and new listings in your area. From Monroe to Madison to Covington, Conyers, and Winder, it's all online.
The Broughton Country Store Farm and Estate Sale is happening this Thursday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 4127 Broughton Road in New Bern. Over 10 buildings full of antiques, collectibles, silver coins, country store items, one-of-a-kind pieces, and so much more. Special antique vendors, live music, and delicious food. You don't want to miss the Broughton Country Store Farm and Estate Sale at 4127 Broughton Road in New Bern. Happening Thursday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And welcome back to the Marc McMain Show. You know, one of the highlights of what we like to do on this show is interviewing the mayors of the small towns in our area. These small towns are the crown jewels of our area. Everyone has their own personality, their own charm, their own reason to visit them. And this is no exception. Please welcome Janet Jones. Janet, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, Mayor, you are the mayor of Bogart. I actually met you about 6 months ago when I was coming through town doing something, and you and I had a great visit. And I always anticipated when I started this show to give interviews to people like you. We've interviewed the mayor of Watkinsville, the mayor of Monroe, the mayor of Good Hope. Boy, we've had a slew of mayors on, but I was really looking forward to having some time with you and letting our listeners learn more about what you got going on in Bogart. So I was going to ask, this was fun. I was excited to see you on the schedule. So you sent us a little bit of a bio. I see you were born and raised in Athens. Tell us about your time growing up and family and kind of what you did before becoming mayor.
Well, actually, my mom and daddy met at the Legion Pool at the University of Georgia. Daddy was playing football. First string is what they called it back then.
Yeah.
And Mama had just transferred up from Wesleyan College, and they met. And So when it came time for them to decide what to do with the Legion pool, of course I was down there voting to keep it up because that's where we all started.
It's sentimental value, yeah, it means something.
Yes, I have an older brother and a younger sister, but we all lived in Athens, and my brother and I graduated from Athens High School. Mom and Daddy moved to Bogart, and that's where my sister graduated from Oconee. But we just had a lot of fun with going to the girls' Y and the boys' Y, and Athens was nothing like it is now. It was a little tiny town that everybody knew everybody, believe it or not.
Now it's a metropolis,
and, the university had not taken over like it has now, but it was a nice town to grow up in, very, very much.
And I see that you attended UGA and you majored in history. Is that right?
Yes. I wanted to be a history teacher, and I have spent my life in the medical and dental field, so go figure.
Sometimes our plans don't work out, but has the history major ever come back to help you in anything? Was there ever a moment maybe in a trivia contest that you queued it up and it helped you out?
Yes, I love history, and very much into genealogy with my family and my family's history.
Yeah, we were talking about that with the Monroe historian Steve Brown yesterday, the lost art of family trees. I don't know that people do those anymore.
We are working on one.
Yeah, when I met you, you told me you have a lot of connected relatives still in the area. A lot of your cousins and your aunts and your uncles kind of settled down, so you've got big extended family there. When Thanksgiving comes around, is it a big event? Is it like a family reunion, or do you guys keep it small and tight?
We keep it small. We used to, but I think a lot of families like ours, like my children, I have one child living in Bogart, one lives in South Georgia, and one lives in Texas.
Oh my!
So it's hard for us to all get together at the same time. We kind of celebrate when we can get together.
So you go to school, you major in history, then you go to work in the dental medical field up until 2013, I guess was when you retired. What was the impetus then to get involved in politics, specifically mayor of Bogart?
Well, when I moved back to Bogart to take care of Mama, who didn't really need taken care of, but that was her premise to get me back.
Yeah, gotta be close to Mama, that's right.
I knew that everyone on the street was a lot older and didn't have a clue what was going on in Bogart. So I thought, well, I'll just start going to the city council meetings and see what's going on. And Jan Thurman was the mayor then, so I started being able to go back and report to the neighborhood what was going on in Bogart. Not that the neighborhood was that big, about 6 houses, but it just kept them informed. And then Jan started a little newsletter on a postcard, and then Dee Elliott and I started gathering information and did a monthly newsletter, which we still do to this day, as all the events going on in Bogart and what's coming up.
That's excellent. And what a great way to get involved. We tell people all the time, it's like, hey, even if you don't want to get elected to office and you don't want to be involved in the political side, go and attend, visit your county commission meetings, your city council meetings, your local party meetings, and really get to know who you've elected to represent you, whether it's in your city, in your town, in your state. It's time well spent. And so I know your neighbors had to consider that a blessing, having you come back and report on what's taking place, because, Mr. Mayor, a lot of times people don't know what's going on until after it's been signed into a law or an ordinance has been put into place.
Exactly, and that's why we really, really try to advertise, as we have to by law, but just so that people know we're talking about this. We're having a public hearing. Come and hear what we have to say and give us your feedback. You know, we don't know if you don't tell us.
That's right. That's right. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. Our guest is Mayor Janet Jones. She's the mayor of Bogart, Georgia. Janet, downtown Bogart is such a charming place. It's a really unique setting right off the railroad tracks. Tell us about what's going on in Bogart. I know that you guys had something. I had something queued up here. You guys had a recent expansion. What was that? Is it the across the street? We had the 1.5 acres for the park. Tell us about that.
Right. We just purchased that. We had a streetscape program here that we did about 4 or 5 years ago, where we totally redid the front of Bogart and all of the sidewalks and the railings and everything to upgrade it. It's all ADA, and of course CSX owns everything to the building. They own the sidewalks, they own the road, they own everything. But we just think it's gorgeous. They finally gave us permission to do it, and we just love it. And then we were able to purchase a vacant lot across the road where we hope to put up a pavilion. Well, it's kind of like an old-fashioned train platform, and people can come and watch the trains go by. I had no idea what a pastime that was for a lot of people. So we thought that would open it up. We'll have picnic tables, barbecue pits, things like that for the children, too.
That is so cool. And how often do the trains come by?
Depending, sometimes every 15 minutes.
No way. Okay, so that's a
Yes
pretty active.
way.
Wow. And when the train comes by, is this like My Cousin Vinny, where the whole town shakes and rattles and you can't really have a conversation? Or is it pretty quiet?
No, I live like a block away from the railroad tracks, and we can sit on our back porch and it'll just be rattling.
Wow. Does it ever come through at night and wake you up while you're sleeping?
It comes through all the time, but you just get used to it. You don't hear the horns at night, and you also know who's coming through because each one of the conductors has a different toot.
So you know who the conductor is by their signaling.
It's so funny.
Oh, that is hilarious. Marc McMain, our guest is Mayor Janet Jones. She's the mayor of Bogart. So, Mrs. Mayor, let me ask you this. Any big events coming up for Christmas in downtown Bogart that y'all have planned?
Well, we just had our tree lighting last Monday, and Santa Claus was here. And this Saturday, we have breakfast with Santa, and we already have over 300 signed up to come to that.
Wow.
And we furnish breakfast, and Santa Claus is there, and Enchanted events are there, and we have a lot of picture taking.
Wow. 300 people. That's great. Sign up with Santa. Chastity's ears perked up over here when you said Santa.
I love Santa.
Chastity, but this is this is not the Santa. This is just a Santa that's going to be in Bogart. So
I don't know.
it could be the real deal. Is what you're thinking?
It's real.
Okay.
You never know.
You never know.
That's right.
Well, we've got the big parade tonight, Mrs. Mayor, in downtown Monroe. We're boasting 77 floats. Now, our buddies over in Watkinsville told us that their parade, which is Sunday at 4, is going to have over 100 floats. I want proof of this, so we're going to have to go down and videotape and see who's got the best float parade. But we've got a big deal going on tonight in Monroe. So if any of the listeners in Bogart want to mosey on over to downtown Monroe, I'm sure it's going to be a packed house, even though the weather looks a little chilly.
Yes, it is. It's cold out there now. No, I think Monroe is just beautiful, and that mayor has really changed the looks of Monroe, too. I'm so proud of him.
Oh, yeah, we are, too. We are, too. And again, I mean this when I say it, Mrs. Mayor, when you look at the leadership in all these small towns, and again, we call Watkinsville, Monroe, and Athens, they're big towns, but all the small towns like Good Hope and Bogart, it's such great leadership, not just with the mayor, with the city council and the whole team that help you guys execute your vision. They're really cool places to come and visit and shop or just hang out and have a good place to have lunch.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we have an excellent team. Excellent team.
You do. Well, I appreciate you taking a minute to join us today. And please tell Gracie, right? Isn't that one of your teammates there is Gracie?
Yes, she is. She is my city clerk, and she is awesome.
She is awesome. I met her. Tell Gracie that we said hi, and I'll stop in and visit with you guys sometime in the near future. And if I don't see you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, and y'all too.
Absolutely. That was the mayor of Bogart, Ms. Janet Jones. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show, folks. This is an abbreviated show today because we do have the big remote tonight. Downtown Monroe, we'll be located in front of the Monroe Museum/Welcome Center on the front porch. We're going to be there from 5:30 to 7. Les Lane will be back in the studios, running the boards, playing his great music, and then about every 15 minutes he'll break to us, and we're going to give you a live update as to the goings-on of the parade. We got 77 floats that we got to track. Chassie, I guess when we got a little 5-minute window, so I've never done a remote before. I got to be ready for this tonight. So when we got a 5-minute window, are we telling the listeners about the floats? Are we talking about the food? Where do we go with this?
Oh, definitely talk about the food because, that's our favorite. But no, the floats, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Just look at our favorites and let the listeners...
Well, one thing I'm concerned about is crossing that road is going to be next to impossible because the floats are going to be going for probably a good hour plus.
Sure.
And there's some really good restaurants on the other side of the road that how are we going to get that goodness in us if it's on the other side of the road. So we'll
get there.
Yeah, we may have to plan. What's on? Well, I guess we can go down, and there's some restaurants on our side of the road too that we can go. So we got to come up with some plan for food. Folks, thank you so much for listening today. We will be wrapping up the show now at 1 o'clock. Back on tomorrow at noon, and the live remote starts at 5:30. Of course, Les Lane will be here in the studios at 5 o'clock with his show, but the remote starts at 5:30. Come see us tonight if you got nothing better to do. Until then, stay safe.